Hello folks, welcome to the in-stock lease deals of the month for April. This one is for petrols, diesels and hybrids and plug-in hybrids. No full battery electric cars in this one. The video on that was released a couple of days ago. I'm going to start off with one that's actually not an in-stock just because it's such a good deal, and then we're going to look at the stock stuff. There are loads in this with the same engine early on. Stellantis cars, funnily enough, and then we move on to some other stuff. There's one or two really phenomenal deals in this video, and then a lot of stuff that's just probably where it should be. Not breathtaking, but just probably roundabout where it should be price-wise. There's a mixture in here of 2-year deals and 3-year deals, all on 10,000 miles a year with 3 months up front. There's a link to Lease Loco in the video description. Please use that or I can't pay for food and I'm fat. So please do that. It means a great deal if you do. Let's crack on. I'm going to whiz through this one, by the way. All right, this is the one I was talking about that's not an in-stock. It is a factory order. It's the Passat Estate 1.5 TSI E-Hybrid R-Line DSG Automatic. It's plug-in hybrid Volkswagen Passat, and this is especially going to make sense if you're putting it through a business, but maybe as a private user it might make sense for you as well, because it's got really good all-electric range for a plug-in hybrid. This new VW system is actually pretty decent. 589 a month's been the average on it, 816 at its peak, and it's currently 429. That's only £6 more than it was at its lowest point, and its lowest point was a few hours ago. 429 a month with 1,287 up front, 8.1 seconds to 62, 204 brake horsepower, insurance group 32, 510 litres of boot space, and 0 to 62 in 8.1 seconds. It's just a brilliant car. Onto the stock stuff that you came here for. Hyundai i10 Premium with nav, 54 mpg, 63 brake horsepower. We don't have the other stats here, but it's a tiny, tiny little city car. So you're not going to have tons and tons of boot room and stuff. There's your interior, fairly bog standard stuff. Price history on it, currently £206 a month with 619 up front. That's about 20p more than it was at its lowest point. On average, it's been 238 and at its peak, 274. Really decent little cheap car. Really cheap to insure, so particularly good for young drivers, or if you just want a second car that's not going to be used constantly. It's really decent value at £200 a month. Peugeot 208 PureTech 100 Allure. This is the 1.2 engine that's in quite a few of the cars coming up immediately after it. 352 litres of boot space, insurance group 21, 101 brake horsepower, 10.1 seconds to 62 and 50 mpg. £660 up front and 220 a month gets you in that. 232's been the average on it, 217 at its lowest point. It's currently 220. Hyundai i20 1-litre GDI advanced navigation with the dual clutch automatic gearbox. I've reviewed one of these, so go and search for that review on my channel. Just look my channel name and Hyundai i20, I guess. 352 litres boot space, insurance group 1,200 brake horsepower, 52 mpg and 12.1 seconds to 62. There's a lot to like about this car. It's very, very capable. £240 a month with 722 up front on a 3-year deal. 286 has been the average on it, 349 at its peak. This is the lowest price we've seen it at 241 quid, we might as well say, with 722 up front. That's a cracking little car for really decent money. We've also got the Corsa Turbo Ultimate Edition, £258 a month. Highest point on that's been 527, lowest point 249. We're currently at 258, so that looks a fairly decent time to get yourself into one. 10.8 seconds to 62, 49.5 mpg, 309 litres of boot space, insurance group 20 and 100 brake horsepower. Then we've got the Jeep Avenger 1.2 E-Hybrid Summit dual clutch automatic, £286 a month with 858 up front, 321 litres of boot space, insurance group 24, 100 brake horsepower and 10.4 seconds to 62, 56.5 mpg. Average on it's been 433 quid. At its peak, 529, and this is the lowest price we've seen it at £286. Very rare for us to get a Jeep on lease deals of the month, because they never seem to need to particularly do anything with the pricing, I don't think. I think it's a car that's sold on its looks more than anything else, because it is a very good looking little car. If you want to see the interior, it looks a bit like this. It's the same sat-nav system, I believe, that they've got in the Fiat 500e, which is absolutely brilliant. I like it a lot. And it certainly does look like a good time to get in one of these. Lowest price we've seen it, 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, 286 a month with 858 up front. Don't forget to use my link to Lease Loco, please. £297 a month gets you in a Peugeot 2008 1.2 automatic GT edition. Insurance Group 23, 136 brake horsepower, 51 mpg, 8.3 seconds to 62. £702 a month has been the ridiculous average on that car. The ridiculous peak on that car was almost £1,000 a month. And its lowest point, surprisingly, is right now. Back in March, it was $550 a month. I've got no idea why this is so ridiculously expensive. Must just be that GT edition, because I think normally they're probably a lower trim level. But I mean, that price is just ludicrous. Who on earth is paying £1,000 a month for a 2008? I guess the answer to that is no one, which is why it's now 297 quid. This is an 18-month deal, though. Very rare I show these, but it's an 18-month deal. If you want to go for a 2-year deal, it does put a little bit on the monthly. I think it puts it up by about 30 quid, somewhere around that. But I just think maybe that suits some people, an 18-month deal. Keep your options open, don't you? Renault Symbioz 1.6. How do you say that? No idea. Maybe someone could spell it phonetically for me in the comments. E-Tech full hybrid electric vehicle, 145. Techno S-Spirit Alpine automatic. Okay, so it's a hybrid, this one. It's not a plug-in, though, by the looks of it. 434 litres of boot space, Insurance Group 17, 143 brake horsepower, 61 mpg, and 10.6 seconds to 62. 324 has been the average on it, 333 at its peak, 297 at its lowest point, currently 310 with 932 up front. Nissan Qashqai 1.5 e-power N connector with the glass roof, 329 quid a month with just about £1,000 up front, 479 litres of boot space, Insurance Group 27, 54 mpg and 7.9 seconds to 62. Bang average, really. 313 was its lowest point, but 364 has been the average, 395 at its peak. It does usually float around the 360 quid mark, so it is a significant saving, really, if you look at it over the course of 3 years. 30 quid a month odd is not to be sniffed at. £329 a month with 989 up front. Cupra Ateca 1.5 Eco TSI V2 DSG automatic, £330 a month with 992 up front, 9.3 seconds to 62, 42 mpg, 150 brake horsepower, Insurance Group 18, and 510 litres of boot space. 362 a month average on that one again, 528 at its peak. This is the lowest price we've seen it at, £330 a month with 992 up front. In fact, it's been 9p a month less than it is right now, so sorry about that. Peugeot 5008 1.2 hybrid 136 Allure automatic, 340 quid a month with £1,000 up front, 11.3 seconds to 62, 44 mpg, 136 brake horsepower, Insurance Group 23, and 348 litres of boot space with all the seats up. This is a 7-seater. If you pop those down, you're going to have 800 odd litres of boot space. Price history on it, 414 has been the average, 651 at its peak. At its lowest point, it was 14, 15 quid less than it is right now. But compare this to the average and the peak, and it really does still look like really good value for money, especially when you consider the size of the car. 340 quid a month is not shocking at all. Nissan X-Trail 1.5 e-power e-force 213 N connector 7-seat version, 7.2 seconds to 62, 44.8 mpg, 213 brake horsepower, Insurance Group 30, 484 litres of boot space. Let's have a look at the interior. It's quite nice in these. I've had one of these in for review, so feel free to go and look at that. My reviews are completely independent and completely honest, unlike some you may see or read somewhere. £429 a month on average, 538 at its peak. This is the lowest price we've seen it, £346 and 15 pence a month gets you into one of these. It's a 3-year deal. It's in stock. use that link in the video description and make your inquiry, folks. Hyundai Tucson 1.6 hybrid N-Line S, 349 quid a month, with a grand up front. Massive boot on these, 616 litres, 8.2 to 62, insurance group 21. It's no wonder it's always one of the most popular cars on Lease Loco. It has been quite a bit cheaper than this. It was about 30-40 quid cheaper than this. £311 it was before. That was a couple of weeks ago. Prior to that, it was nearly 400 quid a month, and it'd been around about the 380, £400 mark for quite a long time. If we go back this time last year, it was 483. So average on it's been 408, highest price 483, lowest price 311, currently 349. So somewhere between that lowest point and the average on it. So not too bad at the moment. Cupra Formentor 1.5 ETSI 150 V2 automatic, 9 seconds to 62, 150 horsepower, 450 litres of boot space, insurance group 22, and 47 mpg. 415's been the average on it, 515 was the peak, and its lowest points are 5 or less than it is now. It's 364 with 1,092 up front. Very cool car. Again, I have reviewed one of those. Alfa Tonale 1.5 mild hybrid Veloce automatic, £365 a month. My favourite looking car in its class. 1,100 up front, 365 a month. 500 litres of boot space, 8.8 to 62, 49 mpg, 160 brake horsepower, and insurance group 29. 461's been the average on it. 656 at its peak, 348 at its lowest point. But you can see the price just yo-yos like mad on these. At 365 against an average of 461 and a peak of 656. That's exceptionally good value. It's a very decent little car and it looks phenomenal. 1,100 up front, 365 a month. Folks, just a very quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks. Audi A3 Sportback 35 TFSI S-Line. 371 a month with 1,100 up front, 380 litres of boot space, 8.4 seconds to 62, 48 mpg, insurance group 22. 397's been the peak on it, 358 at its lowest point, 605 at its peak. We're currently somewhere between the lowest point and the average on it, so that's a pretty comfortable place to be. 3-year deal on that one, 371 quid a month. Very good deal on the Tiguan Allspace. This is the 1.5 TSI Life DSG automatic petrol version. 9.6 seconds to 62, 39 mpg, 150 brake horsepower, insurance group 21 and 700 litres of boot space. It's a lot of car this. 372 a month with 1,100 up front. 537 at its peak, 367 at its lowest point, 442 a month on average, currently 372. That really is a very good car for a really decent price. That looks like a bit of value to me. 372 a month gets you in the Tiguan Allspace. Now look at this. This is a lovely, lovely, lovely car. I want one. It's a Genesis G70 2-litre turbo, 245 brake horsepower, automatic with the innovation pack, which gets you loads of wonderful things. 6.1 seconds to 62, 33 mpg, 245 brake horsepower, insurance group 39, 330 litres of boot space. Have a look at the interior in this. Lush. Just a brilliant thing, and Genesis cars just feel like they're from a level above. They really do. 755 a month has been the average on it. 965 a month at its peak. Its lowest point was actually last week when it dropped to 371, and it's climbing back up. I think it was quite popular from what I understand. Currently 392 with 1,176 up front. There are limited numbers of these. Genesis are basically going to hybrid and electric in future. So the full-on petrol and diesel stuff, they're having a little bit of a sale at the moment just to clear their existing stock from what I believe. And this is really perhaps a bit of a once in a lifetime to get one of these at this kind of price. Under 400 quid a month for a car that averages over 750 a month. At its peak, it's 965. And I'll tell you what, that thing will give an Audi A4, a BMW 3 Series, a C-Class Mercedes, all of those, an absolute run for their money in every respect. And with perhaps all of them, or certainly a couple of them, the interior puts them to shame. It's a lovely thing. go and have a test drive in one. Volvo V60 is pretty good at the moment. Funnily enough, you can only get this on a 2-year deal, but 7.6 seconds to 62, 41 mpg, insurance group 30, 197 brake horsepower, 519 litres of boot space, 653 on average, 1200 at its peak, 490 at its lowest point, and we're only a tenner more than that, which is great because look at that average, £501 a month with 1500 up front. BMW 5 Series Touring, this is the 530e M Sport Automatic, so it's a plug-in hybrid, 0 to 62 in 6.4 seconds, 299 brake horsepower, insurance group 40 and 570 litres of boot space, 855 a month on average, 1157 at its peak. This is the lowest price we've seen it at 663. So brilliant time to have a look at the 5 Series Touring, a phenomenal car. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you. Right, now, I occasionally get a couple of people that always get in the comments and say, why don't you show us deals on performance cars? And I've said a million times before, but I show you the best deals are available. If there's an amazing deal on a performance car, don't you think it would be in the video? And I want to show you why I don't put some of these in. So this one at the moment, it's the Audi RS3 Saloon. This is about as good a deal as you'll get on a real performance petrol car at the moment. It's the TFSI Quattro RS3. I mean, it's an absolute monster, 3.8 seconds to 62. And when you look at the deal, it's not terrible. Like, it's under the average for it. It's well under the peak for it. And it's 90 quid more than it was at its lowest point. But if you look at this as a bit of value for money, in terms of like the total amount you're going to pay on that versus the value for money you're going to get on something like this, it's just night and day difference. Look at the purchase price, look at the monthlies, all the rest of it. The difference is night and day. If you particularly want something like this, go for it. But I'm not going to say it's one of the best lease deals this month because it's not. And it's as simple as that, folks. So I appreciate people want to see different stuff at times, and these videos try to do that. But I don't see the point in showing you deals that I don't think offer some kind of value at the time I'm making the video. Otherwise, each video would be even longer and even more boring than it already is. Thanks for watching, folks. Please subscribe to the channel. Very few of you that watch these videos are actually subscribed. And if you just clicked on it, it would make a huge difference. So please do that. And please use the link to Lease Loco because it's how I pay my bills. Thanks ever so much for watching, folks. See you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.